I think there's a benefit to being someone who's a director and the visual effects artist. When I'm given a shot, I'm often asked to, like, fix it in some way. So when you're working on yourself, you could do a bunch of stuff to get it looking better, but you kind of choose not to because you treat it as an aesthetic. Technical nightmares become choices.
Felix Geen is not only a very good friend of mine, but also an incredibly talented VFX artist and director. When I first met him a couple years ago, I found out that he's behind one of my favorite music videos ever, Squid's Narrator. Felix's work on Narrator blew me away, and so did his approach to filmmaking.
There's so many conceptions around how visual effects should be done. I didn't have a formal training, I didn't go to university to study visual effects. I studied game design. So I always had a 3D perspective. You kind of just experiment and try stuff.
Drones went on to completely change Felix's vision.
When DJI released the Mavic drone, that just instantly opened up all these possibilities of what you can do with a flying camera that, has a stabilized gimbal attached to it.
He's become incredibly creative, marrying his VFX skills with flying drones. For his video for Building 650 by Squid, he collaborated with Daisuke Hasegawa, who managed directing the actors for the narrative part of the video.
My side of it was doing a bunch of rooftoping and not doing anything super illegal, but just getting myself onto rooftops so that I could actually film these drone shots and just having a lot of fun exploring this darker, seedier side of Tokyo that I hadn't really seen.
Felix sees the world around him differently, and I think that's part of why his work is so special.
If it's something that excites me, it's usually something that's kind of complicated. But I think in my own practice, I tend to sort of go down the path of technical approaches to things just because it's where I have a stronger voice. I feel safe in those places where I'm struggling with a technical problem. The limitations of things are always an inspiration, I think, to try and overcome them and work with them.